so far?
Yeah.
How many people is this your first day? All right, we got one. Everyone else has been here both days? That's awesome. Awesome. So I really don't even need to introduce him, but you know who you're here to see. David Kaye. That's how he's going to answer all those questions.
Yes. So if it doesn't involve one of those answers, yeah. Nice to see you all. Thank you very much for coming and supporting and watching the shows. Because I have to say this, without you, there's no this. You know what I mean? Seriously, it's humbling and it's great to meet you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Awesome. So let's start with a little getting to know you. So you were born in Canada. How did you get from Canada to here?
Shh, quiet.
Sorry.
No, I talked a little bit. Where was the folks who stopped by at the G.I. Joe stuff? They were going to drop by. I signed a General Hawk DVD seconds ago. So the story is, I was in radio for a while, and I got an agent somehow, and he said, "You do voices?" And I said, "Yeah, sure." I was doing stuff in the morning show, doing all kinds of crazy characters. He said, "I had an audition for G.I. Joe, the Great American Hero." I said, "Well, can we do that? Because we're not." He said, "No, they need a show here." I go, "Okay." So I went and auditioned for a couple of characters, and then General Hawk was the one that I ended up getting called back for and hired to do, which is my first cartoon, working with Gary Chalk and Scotty McNeil and some of the guys that I first met for the first time. And for many years, I always felt guilty. I said, "Well, I'm not really a great American hero. That doesn't really work." So we became U.S. citizens almost 4 years ago now. And I thought, oh, okay, now I can say that I'm General Hawk, a great American hero. So I always felt guilty. So now I feel okay that I can say it. But that General Hawk was my first cartoon that I wanted to quit everything I ever did and loved about radio and do this whole voiceover thing. And I started a business doing imaging and television, and now it's movie trailers and promo for Fox and football, NFL football, and a lot of cartoons, and live in Los Angeles. And so it's thanks to G.I. Joe I'm here. So that's how it started with me, and that's how we got to Los Angeles.
How long were you involved in radio beforehand?
And I lived 10 or 15 years, I guess. I was 17 years old. I was on the air in my hometown playing records. And I used to, it was sort of in a clock tower building, and I could see down. I still have nightmares about it, waking up and actually going back. It's winter time, it's freezing, and I'm playing music, and no one's on the street. I did overnights. I used to play, my wife and I have been married 33 years. I used to dedicate songs to her all the time when I was in high school. So, and that was fun.
What kind of radio was it?
Top 40, always usually top 40.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So recently you just started work on DuckTales.
Yeah, DuckTales.
Wow.
When you're in Los Angeles, you have an audition for Disney, you automatically tighten up and go, oh God. Because when you walk on the lot, and a lot of the stuff, you reforce on the lot at Disney, and there's when you walk down there's a beautiful manicured lawns and studios, very historic. You go into the voiceover division, the cartoon animation division, and there's these big, giant, cement gargoyle Disney characters staring down at you.
Don't screw it up. Yeah, we're watching you.
And it's nerve-wracking. It really is nerve-wracking. And I did some different projects, Disney projects and things, and that was circling, but I've never actually, this is the first time I've been involved in an actual, duck technique, a mouse or a duck. I'm an actual duck thing character. Well, it's, Duckworth.
It's a legacy.
Yeah. And Duckworth is very proper and fun, talks like this all the time. Yes, of course you are. There's a bit of Megatron in there, but it's, but that's, yeah. Matt Youngberg and those guys. We're having a big rap party in 2 weeks for the new season, so get to go and hang with everybody.
So season 3 is already filmed for or recorded for the most part?
I believe so, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was very excited to see Dark Earth come in, and then when it was you, that was just icing on the cake.
It was an honor, like a real honor. So.
All right, so I'm going to kind of pass the microphone around. If you've got questions, throw your hands up and ask David some questions.
Hi, Mr. Kaye. Sir.
Good to see you.
Thank you. How did you get involved with the Death of the Golden Disc project?
The which?
The Death of the Golden Disc.
Oh, the golden, you mean the Beast Wars, the Golden Disc?
Right.
The Golden Disc, yes. The audition for that happened. Now, I had not seen G1 Transformers. I grew up watching Bugs Bunny, Tex Avery, all the weird cartoons that I would stare at for hours. You know, Pink Panther, all that stuff. That's just my thing. So I never really knew. And then the audition came through for Transformers, and when the audition came through, it was a stack of papers, the characters, the relationship between each character, a whole universe, and it was overwhelming because it was early in my career. I guess it was around 93, 94, somewhere in there. I think it started casting up, and I didn't really have any ideas. The audition day came, and I'm thinking, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I have no. And last minute, I'm in there, and I just kept thinking about Anthony Hopkins, Sean Connery, and a lizard. What would that sound like together? And I really didn't know until I went in and opened my mouth, and it's, yes, this thing came out, this Sean Connery, and I could see everyone's head kind of look up and start talking and everything else, and they were, you know, asked me to try it again. When you're in a booth and they ask you to try it again, that means they're trying to see if you can take direction, or they're interested. So I did it a couple of times, and they said, okay, take a look at Optimus Prime, and okay, so I read for Optimus. I can't even remember what I did. But I ended up getting cast as Megatron, and that's how that whole thing started. And you watch Beast Wars, and you've seen it, it's the writing, the storylines are phenomenal. You ever notice it's very Shakespearean, a lot of Shakespeare? If I do this, this will happen, but if I do that, you know, to be or not to be, that is the question. You know, and that's, all that comes from that, you know, and we just all fell in love with it. The first time we saw it on screen, Sue Blue was the voice director, and I said, Gary Chuck, you meet Gary Chuck, the big monkey, he was here last year. You meet Gary?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Gary and I, Ian Corlett, who also lives in Los Angeles, now Scotty McNeil, Alec Willows. Watching Alec Willows work as Tarantulas is the creepiest thing you'll ever see. I don't know if anybody ever met Alec? He's like, dude, stand away. Venus Terzo, she's a sweetheart. I saw her in Louisville a couple of years ago. Who else is in it? Doug, this is Starscream, Richard Newman. Who else is who was the one that called me? Jim Burns. Yeah, my queen. Stop calling me that. It's uncomfortable. It was just an amazing cast, and what made it great was all this screwing around we did before we went to record. We'd table read it and then record. And Jim Burns, when he was in the episodes, would walk in. Jimmy lost both legs in a motorcycle accident many, many years ago. So he'd come in, you know, as Kaye, he'd walk in. And the first thing you do is tell a really, really dirty joke at 8:30 in the morning. Dude, we're not ready. And that started the day. And that one for you. Oh, God, here we go. So the camaraderie and the fun we had, and when we first saw it on the screen, they played a bit of the animation, the rendering, and we were like, wow, this is, at that time, it's like, we're seeing the future. Wow. It was really something. You know, and who knew? It's from that, you know, from G1 that all this, the universe keeps growing, and it's pretty crazy.
The Beast Wars you did that.
Yeah, the Golden Disc was the second season, right?
Well, it was the whole series.
Well, it was the whole series, but the Golden Disc. But that's a very Shakespearean speech. That was fun. The what?
The separate thing from the convention.
It's a separate thing from the convention?
That's the thing that they call this.
The which? Oh, did I answer any of the question? The golden disc? It was after Beast Wars, wasn't it? Yeah. Yes, it was. Yeah. Yeah. Next?
I have a question and I have a voice request.
Yeah.
Okay. Question is, when it comes to when it came to voicing Megatron, did you like put a little bit of yourself into the character? Or
Yes, it's a good question. Everything we do is a part of who we are. Does that make sense? Everything. Even you said, I remember a friend of mine who's an actor said, I don't have a dark side. I go, oh, then you're in the wrong profession. That's the fun of it, to be a character, and the character doesn't think of himself as evil. He just is doing what he believes to be the right thing to do in his mind. He doesn't think, I'm not evil, this is the way it shall be, But did I answer that question? I ramble, so just stop me. But yeah, there's part of me in there, absolutely, certainly.
Can you say Megatron terrorize?
Of course. Megatron, terrorize! After the rat trap of the pleasant surprise, but shall avail you not. No, sight guns. Yeah, I still get chills because I remember the first time we recorded it, we're like, oh, well, this is awesome. Yes.
So I remember the New York market, the first 2 episodes aired as a sneak peek, like in February '96, before the fall when the show actually started.
Right.
On the business side, do you remember, was that actually like a pilot, and did they tell you as actors, listen, the show isn't greenlit yet, we got to see how like the returns are?
I didn't know anything about that. I'm one of those actors who's quite happy to be oblivious because you never get too comfortable and there's never a real or a sure thing. I we all assumed that, this is going to be great, this is going to be fun, I hope this goes. That was our thought.
Was there a pause between the first 2 episodes when you recorded? Was there a pause before picking up the rest of the season?
No, I think we just went right into it. They expected it to be bought. They obviously knew that a lot of stuff we didn't know. Some people are interested and know about the business. I like to, like I said, be oblivious because I'm happier that way. To not know. You never know what show's going to hit, what show's not going to hit. But sometimes that happens where they just do one. Like we did, there's before the Ratchet and Clank movie came out, there was a bunch of testing and a bunch of this and that before eventually, okay, we're going. Sometimes it happens, but that we just went right, started recording right into it. Yes.
I've got 2 questions.
All
right. First question, do you ever have a Megatron voice-off with any of the past Megatrons, like Frank Welker?
Well, I haven't had that, but in an episode of TF Prime that I came in as an Insecticon, Hard Shell, do you remember that one? Yes. It was the first time that Frank, Peter, and I have been in the same room together, and I thought a black hole was going to open up and swallow everyone. But no, we haven't. My heart was, didn't hear the mandibles of Insecticon. So it was an element of Megatron in there. But hearing Frank, it's annoying. And Peter, transform and roll out. Bumblebee. It's a different. So it was just so cool to be. And we all, by the way, do each other's voices all the time. They're always, Oh, Bumblebee, don't forget, kids, be good to your parents. Transform and roll out. And Frank is just a master of everything. He's inhuman. And the second question.
Sorry, I'm just a little excited.
Oh, it's okay. So am I. I'm still shaky.
Yeah. I've been getting a little speculation that Predacon Megatron might not be his real name. Any clue what his real name is? And was he created by Galvatron himself?
Megatron?
The original? Megatron, did he have like a name before Megatron?
Oh, the backstory on that? I don't know. I don't know. The writers sort of have, it's up to us as actors to sort of develop a backstory. Sometimes the writers will sit with us and tell us, okay, well, this is what happened, but you can speculate, and the fun of it is you can create whatever backstory you want. As an actor, your job is to create, because this character Megatron didn't just appear out of nowhere, he came from something, right? So my job is to develop all that and come up with his history. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
I just want to hear you do more voice actor impressions. That was incredible.
Who watched X-Men Evolution? Yes. If we could only find the outtakes from that show. Where is Kitty? Where is Kitty?
First off, Mr. Kaye, I want to say thank you for all your work as Megatron and G.I. Joe and all that.
Yes, thank you.
My question is, when you worked on Inuyasha's Lord Sesshomaru, was there any scene or line that when you delivered it, you were like, yeah, this is my guy? Like, you know?
Doing anime is a little different when the animation's already done, and so there's 3 beeps in your headphones, beep, 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 and then you watch the monitor and fill in the lip flaps with the English, right? Dubbing for animation or anime. Toshi from Viz Video at the time was doing some projects and cast me in that as Sesshomaru. I remember being the most relaxing experience in animation I've ever had. I used to come in, I used to set a light up for me, and we'd come in separately to do our lines. We did 7 seasons of that. I don't know how many episodes, and I knew about 3. I knew Richard, I knew Michael Dobson was in it. I didn't know anybody else. No, because we used to do it by ourselves. I would sit there like this. Yes, Jockin. Of course, Jockin. Stop it. You know, a demon, my half-brother. And I would just like relax. And it was so great just doing that. And that was Sesshomaru, because he never really got excited or overworked. He was very sure of himself. And I just remember being like, literally, I feel like Sesshomaru right now, just hanging out. This is me. And it was just so relaxing. But yeah, that's how that came about. A relaxing atmosphere. Hey.
So I asked a similar question to Gary Chalk last year. I'm going to kind of ask you the same sort of question. So both of you have played a version of Megatron, and then both of you have played a version of Optimus. So when you became Optimus, what was your thought process?
Did he play Megatron?
Very briefly in one episode of Beast Wars.
Well, that doesn't count.
G1.
Like G1 Megatron was this, but it was a morning or further around.
Oh, so there was something he would, okay.
They
Yeah,
had the disc or further around.
I conveniently forgot about that. Again, well, the Optimus thing, well, I was so used to being Megatron, those, all the series in Los Angeles, I actually contacted Sue Blue and said, hey, I know you're casting, so can I, be in LA? And she said, oh, baby, of course you are. Oh, baby, oh, yeah. So they brought me in, I never had for Megatron. Oh, here we go again. They're laughing. Oh, it's great. I thought it's gonna happen. And I get the phone call in my car. I'm in Chinatown. Literally, that movie Chinatown. Jack, I'm driving down that street. It's Chinatown, Jack. Forget about it. And it's, hey, it's Netanya, so they want to book you on Transform. I go, oh, awesome, here we go. So they want to book you as Optimus Prime. I go, you mean Optimus Prime? You the good guy? She's, yeah. I go, are you sure? I don't know what to do with that. Yeah, because they were having trouble finding someone. They were thinking like a Tom Hanks type. The first few episodes, I had a tough time figuring out like who this was. And I just dropped in my own voice. A Transformer rolled out. Bumblebee. He's like a young buck and trying to figure things out. It's a completely different, from Gary's. And so I just kind of did that. And it was tough for the first few episodes because Sue would say, "Okay, Megatron," and I'd look up and it's Corey Burke, right? And it's just a different headspace. Because an Optimus, he's just trying to, he's rallying the troops and. He's a good guy. He just wants to. the direction they gave me for Optimus Prime was when he speaks, think of all the other characters doing the eye roll, like, oh, here we go again. You know, like, oh, he's speaking again. And he's trying to rally the, they're all like, oh. And so that became, in my head, I go, okay, now I start to understand, like, where he's coming from. The bad guys, they're a lot of fun. A lot of fun to do. Gary will tell you the same thing because there's so much going on. When you hear Alan Rickman say, yes, Harry Potter, like, if someone's yelling at you like it, you know, I mean, that's okay, he's mad, and it's not really interesting. But if somebody says to you, I'm going to take you outside and take your heart out and stamp on it, that's creepy. You know, so that's what makes playing the bad guys fun, because they don't need to get all, you know, screamy. It's less interesting. And the good guys are they're just there they're good guys. Come on, guys. So I'm rambling again, but does that make sense?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Okay, I think we got time for one or two more questions.
Yeah, we can go another 10 minutes.
Is that 10? Okay.
Yeah, we can go further. I have a last week tonight session I have to do, but it's for the Emmys. I don't know if we're doing something today. I have to go back, record it at the hotel, my gear, and come back here. So yeah, okay.
Lou, okay. What was your experience working on Rambo and Half?
Oh yes, Nabiki, Nakani. A lot of crying. You remember seeing that show? I think that was one of the early ones I did too, from the first anime ones. Yeah, and it was Robert O. Smith, Robert O. who played. He was a power lifter. He passed away a few years ago, and I was blown away. He was such a nice guy, an older guy, but he used to lift massive amounts of weight. Like he won medals. What was the character in that? You remember Robert O. Smith? He was the
father again. The South Band.
That's right. Yeah, the Ocean Group. We did that in Vancouver. Good memories, but a lot of crying from my character. Next.
Megatron, his iconic legs.
Yeah.
Was that improvised or was that written in?
That's a good question. Some of you may know or may not know. It was the first or second record. The writing, there was no like yes and no and all that stuff. There was like I think there was a paragraph or a speech, and he said yes, you know, and I went yes. And Sue goes, oh, baby, I love that. I'll do that again. They're all like, you know, and their heads are going back and forth like little, what do they call those things that, no, those animals that pop up and look around. Meerkats? Meerkats. You know the ones that like, that's what people in booths is, like meerkats. If you do something good, then they come out of the hole and look around and they go back. And so I did another take, you know, and so I was going to look it up and yes. And they go, oh wow, he's here. So, and then I think a little bit, I added a no. Did the Shakespeare thing, you know, the back and forth, and they kept that in. So I would add, sometimes they would write it in, other times I would add where I thought was necessary. So they let me kind of play a bit. And you know, it's weird because I've seen movies where people, what's the movie, Galaxy Quest? I grab Thor's hammer, I will avenge thee. And I thought, hey, it's a catchphrase. Wait a minute, I got a catchphrase. I have a catchphrase. But yeah, it's so cool how that took off, you know? And also, excellent is another one that I added. I added excellent. I have to take credit for that. Next.
Hi.
Hi.
I've been enjoying the past couple of years your Christmas videos that you do.
Oh,
Megatron
yes.
voice. How did that start to come about? Because now I'm seeing the other V4 actors getting in on it.
Again, out of boredom. It's amazing when you're bored, your mind goes, I'm going to do something. It was close to Christmas. We're still living in Burbank. And I was in my booth, and I was just, I don't know, cleaning up and toying around, and I just do a little, I don't know, a little song. I don't know why, I don't know what happened. I think it all comes from the duck. You know, rubber ducky, you're the one. I said, well, if he can sing that, then maybe he can sing a Christmas song. But the thing is now that the pressure's on, because now I'm feeling like I'm anxious, because I got, oh my God, I got to come up with something. And last Christmas it was, I don't have a cigar often. My doctor keeps saying, could you please quit? And just once in a while, And Christmas Eve is sort of that time, late at night, when people are there, I kind of sit and, take stock, put the old radio on, listen and we live in Toluca Lake, which is where Bob Hope and Bing Crosby and all they used to live in that area. And our house is built in 1942, and I used to sit there and think, well, what would have been like Christmas, 1942, the Second World War? And I listened to these old shows. And I thought, wait a second, I'll do like a little something. And so I just recorded, I can't remember what I did this past year, a poem or but now I would like to do, honestly, is to gather some of the old troops and do a Christmas album. That's what I would like to do. Gary could do a song, him and I could do I don't know, what would we do? Oh baby, it's cold now. Yeah. I mean, there can be infinite possibilities there. It's just basically something I just kind of did. Yeah. I think all the greatest things happen organically. Do we agree? Yes. So yeah. And thank you for that. Anyone else? Yes. Either one. Either or.
Beast Wars, DuckTales, with DuckTales, you're like Duckworth.
I need you just closer to the mic. I can't quite hear you.
Yeah, how's that?
Yep, good.
With Duckworth, did you know when you auditioned for the role that he was going to be a ghost going in, or like he was dead? Yeah.
We're not allowed to know anything really until they don't like us to have. Sometimes they'll send the scripts early, but I like to be surprised a lot of times, and that way I won't say anything I'm not supposed to. So yeah, I went, oh, he's fat, yeah, because I thought he was, gone. But he's I thought, oh, the ghost, that's how to do it. All right. Yeah, so that, it became a thing.
Yeah, cool, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, so you said that you didn't watch the original Transformers when Beast Wars had come out. When did you realize that you were part of something that was already like a big thing?
In the first SpotCon I went to in Rochester, New York.
97.
In Rochester, 97. You were there? Wow, man. That's when Venus and I were there. And the guys who designed the toys.
Was there too.
Yes. And wasn't Peter Cullen there?
Yeah. Oh yeah, Peter Cullen was there.
He was there too.
Frank Welker was scheduled, but last minute.
Yes, he had to cancel it. Yeah, so, and I was walking around. I remember the woman with the snake.
Yeah, the yellow snake.
The yellow snake. And but she wasn't a fan of the new series or something.
I remember. She was just an attendee hanging out. I remember.
Yes, I remember her. But I remember we're hanging out after. Was it after party or after something? We got somebody.
It was Stan Bush's concert with Vince DiCola.
Yeah, and I was sort of thinking, wow. So this is and it was an eye opener. I realized that this is something kind of special. I didn't.
And there was a Wu-Tang concert down the hall.
That's right, the Wu-Tang concert.
There was a line around the block for the Wu-Tang.
Yeah, I remember. Oh my God, I remember that. I thought, what is this? Is this the convention? What are we? I remember doing the pilgrimage, Venus and I, to the House of Guitars. Because growing up across the border in Canada, we used to get Buffalo Television and Rochester Television, and I grew up on all that stuff. And all these weird commercials after midnight before, when after midnight, sometimes TV stations would go off the air, the old days. And these commercials, the House of Guitars, hop, hop, it's the Easter sale, hop, hop. They're all like weird, sort of drug-induced something. I don't know what they did putting those. But I said, I want to go to the House of Guitars. So Venus and I took a cab out, and we visited this music mecca, this old house. We're in the basement, acres of 8-tracks, cassettes, albums, everything. And I was like, oh my God, this is the House of Guitars. I'm the only one who gets this thing. But I thought, wow. I forgot about the convention. I was more like, House of Guitars, man. That was a good time. But that's when I realized something special here. Yeah. Yeah? Right here?
Hi, David. With the Beast Machines taking on a different writing staff and touching on different themes and a more serious tone,
Yep.
did you want to approach that Megatron as a different character, even though he was the same character?
Well, we had lunch with Bob Steer, Ian and I, about a couple months ago. It was great to connect with Bob. I hadn't seen him for years. When I was actually told that, okay, well, so we're going to use the comedy and the yes. We're not going to be, we're going to pull that back, and it's a little darker. And want him to. I was given the direction to not to be so flippant, and it was much more a serious thing. I loved the look of it, the whole thing. I was just following direction, and we all wanted to just keep going because it was so much fun. But I did miss the fun Megatron. I was missing him for a bit. But then once we got into it, you kind of, okay, well, it's gone, so let's just do what we're doing here. We enjoyed that. But I was disappointed in the beginning with direction. Yeah. Ready?
Testing.
There we go.
First of all, I love your shirt.
Oh, thank you.
Second, do you have any plans to get back into the Transformers universe? Any sort? Reincarnate Megatron?
If they send auditions or they ask, of course I read. I know that they've been great. They've always thrown me. Everybody watch Robots in Disguise? Was it? What was it? What was my character in that? It was the little mini-con. It was. Well, Shark the Con was one of them, but I was actually a mini-con in Robots in Disguise.
His voice went here like this and over here, and sort of like a doctor from Lost in Space.
That sort of thing. I did a little something with that, and it was like a 4 or 5 episode. Eric Bowles and myself, Mikey, we were in a few of those. TF Prime was cool, but of course, if we were asked to do anything else, I've given up hope for working on the film stuff. I read for stuff. I've read for the film versions, but I think Michael Bay just doesn't. That's not going to happen. I don't think. But I just wanted a piece. I just thought, it'd be kind of fun to do something, but it didn't. I'm happy with where I am. I'm really hoping if they do a Beast Wars movie, that they give me a shot. If they do, I know I don't know if that's even going to happen, but I actually called my agent. Look, if this is ever going to happen, I want a meeting. I just want a meeting. I just want to throw me. I know you get your Hollywood stars, but it'd be nice if they do something to get the original cast. We were in Ratchet and Clank movie. We were concerned that they were going to replace us, with celebs, because they almost expect it. We'll do, one more.
Hi, David. I just wanted to know if you collect any toys from the characters that you've played, and if so, have you seen the new masterpiece, Beast Wars Megatron that they just did? Or if you have one?
Oh yeah. By the way, the first MP43 I signed today I'll throw in a free yes button. Had to get that, so it goes along with it. So first one I signed today. I do have 2 of them. I have one. The box was damaged, and so I opened that up, and that sits in my studio. And then the other one I paid for, and it's in the box, and no one touches it. But I have a lot of toys stored away, like old Star Wars. I have every Ren and Stimpy toy in the box. I have every Pee Wee Herman. I have some crazy old awesome stuff. Every Tick, the original Tick. I have all those toys. I take them out once in a while, look at them and go, wow, this is cool, and put them away. The Megatron, I have all the Megatrons. Some of them I've displayed up above in the studio. There was a time there back in, I think, the early 2000s where there was a box coming to my door, and my wife said, okay, that's enough. That's enough now. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And I started ordering stuff off bodybuilding.com, and those boxes would show up for weeks on end. Okay, that's enough. All right, I'm out of that now. I go through, it's ridiculous. But the toys are cool. The ones I got, and all those BotCon exclusives, those what do you call them, the exclusives? I think I got all of them. I forgot I had all of them. And I went, whoa, I got some cool stuff. So yeah, they're fun to have.
So outside of DuckTales and
you watched
all over tonight. What else?
What's the Justice League? You watching Justice League?
Randall Savage. Remember Miguel Ferrara?
Well, Miguel passed away, a hero of mine, and so they called me and asked if it's a horrible way, because he was much loved. I think that's a tough thing to go in and try and replace that, his iconic. I was nervous and scared, and I think I feel horrible.
He had this sort of swagger the singing year, and I just tried to do that.
And they, get some great comments. And doing Vandal Savage is one of my all-time favorite DC characters. That to me was another Megatron moment where, you're honoring a comic book legend, and also a voice legend, Miguel. And I did Stretch Monster as well, because he was on the series. He passed away. He left a big hole, and all I was trying to do is just stay afloat and try and do, in his honor, try and do just the best I could do. It's a tough one. But the Justice League is really cool. It's amazing numbers. Trolls, do we have any young Trolls fans at DreamWorks? In the Trolls movie, no troll left behind. In the Trolls, I get to sing. I did a little white lie there, and they said, "Oh, they like you for King Peppy, but can you sing?" I go, "Yeah, of course I can sing." So, there's that. What else? There's a lot of NDAs. Ben 10. My first Grandpa role is Grandpa Max in the new Ben 10 series. I don't know how I feel about being cast as a grandpa right now, but we're doing a lot of different aliens, and it's a fun gig. There's new trailers coming out for Zombieland 2, the movie, 10 years later. On that campaign, and a new show on Fox called Prodigal Son, doing their promos for them.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of all over the map. But cartoons is my love. I love it.
Well, if you like seeing this guy and hearing him talk, be sure to check out his new YouTube series, Hollywood and Wine.
Yeah, it's
very fun.
It is. I'm a wine nerd. It's just something I do. It's something to do. And I interview all the voiceover stars. So I can tell you that we did E.G. Daily recently, J.B. Blanc, with Ray Delisle and Debbie Derryberry. We had them on. We taste wines. We drink a bit of alcohol and have some food. And then doing a special SpongeBob episode with Lori Allen and Tom Kenny, but it's a tequila episode coming up. John DiMaggio and Dee Bradley Baker, we're going to be pairing burgers and wine at Cassell's in downtown Los Angeles. I get all kinds of great episodes coming up. So it's just a hobby, and it's fun to kind of, share some food and wine with the people I work with. They're pretty cool.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time. Thank you guys for your questions. And he will be back signing in, about an hour?
No.